What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive underwater. We're going to check out 5 different ways to rig up a stick worm, a Senko, a trick stick, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about the 5 ways that we rig up these baits to catch more bass. We'll see you underwater. Alright guys, so let's talk about how we rig the Senko from most crazy down to the average way we do it. Here's the bladed rig, right, or the bladed Senko. I really like to fish this early spring and around the spawn, around vegetation, emergent vegetation, because one, it helps the fish find a presentation that they're going to bite, and 2, 9 out of 10 guys fish a Texas rigged Senko without a blade on it. The blade gives it secondary action, it gives it vibration. It also allows you to burn this over vegetation, drop it in holes. Also, it can be thrown around schooling fish. It can be used in so many situations, and it upsizes your bait profile. It gets big bites and it does a good job. That blade vibration really allows fish to find it in off-colored water, and it's just a different look. I really like this presentation for bottom contact and for swimming. Number 2, the shaky head. Not a lot of guys throw the Senko on the shaky head, and I like it for a variety of reasons. One, it's a totally different look when you have that Senko glide and swoop on a shaky head fished actively on the bottom. But 2, you can fish it like a dummy rig here and let it fall down on the bottom, but it's very, very weedless and a very different look. A lot of guys throw this weightless Texas rig, and sometimes throwing it on the shaky head can give it a different look and a different feel. I call this stupid worming right here because the worm will lay flat on the bottom, but the shaky head gives it a different fall, it gives it a different profile on the bottom, and it disturbs more, but not that much more. So it's a good in-between for a bottom contact Senko bite, right? It's not a full Texas rig, it's not crashing through there, but it is coming down with pace. Here's a good example of that stupid rig, of it laying flat on the bottom, and it just generates bites from moderate to lethargic fish, if you will. Another way to change it up and make it different, the Tokyo rig. I really like to flip the Tokyo rig almost exclusively. I don't fish a Texas rig in heavy cover because a lot of guys do. The Tokyo rig gives it way more action, but it also goes through all of that thick vegetation. It punches through there really fast, drops like a bullet, but it has action underneath the mat. It has action underneath the slop, and I really enjoy the bite that this gets me with that Senko. It's just another way of presenting it that's different to fish. I fish a lot of pressured water, and the Tokyo rig generally upsizes my bites and generates more bites for me while staying super weedless. This Tokyo rig, great way to present it. You can also fish it in open water and drag it through submergent vegetation, drag it through grass lines. It comes through everything. Fantastic, and it's a great way to present a bait. Now, you also have the weightless Texas rig, and I really like to fish the weightless Texas rig when I'm skipping under docks. It backslides really well, or when you're around floating docks. If you throw this up alongside, it's going to backslide up under that cover. Now, the secret to the weightless Texas rig is the shimmy here on the worm. This is a great option when you're fishing super deep lines. You can Carolina rig this bait, you can also split shot this bait, or free rig it, but the Texas rig Senko weightless here, fishing over 14, 15 feet of water, this slow selective fall, if you've got a tall weed edge, say 14 feet of water, but the weeds come up to about 8 foot, letting this bait fall that 8 feet into those weeds, fish are going to come up and smoke it. Caden and Rob have caught a ton of fish on the Texas rigged Senko. This is a more traditional way of fishing this bait. I would say 6 out of 10 guys are fishing a Senko this way. The other half of those guys are probably fishing it wacky style. So this is a great way to fish a bait. It's generally going to generate a lot of bites, but the fish you're going to catch seem to be smaller, in my opinion, because they just get to it first. And here is your traditional wacky rig. This rig gets a lot of attention from a lot of anglers because one, it catches fish, and two, it's a go everywhere, do everything type lure. You can throw it in the cold, you can throw it in the warm, you can throw it for active fish, you can throw it for passive fish. Wacky rig gets fished a lot. Now I like to fish my wacky rig with an O-ring. It preserves the life of that rig longer. But I don't fish the wacky Senko a lot because a lot of guys do. I've found out that while it does get bites, I can get bigger and better bites fishing the Senko in different ways, because fishing different sometimes is going to get a fish to bite when it normally wouldn't. If I'm gonna throw a wacky rig, I like the Dinger. It has the best action side to side, once again on an O-ring to get it done. Thanks. But if I want to bait. Hey guys, hope you really enjoyed learning about how we rig up those Senkos, stick worms, whatever you want to call them, underwater. A lot of different ways that you can do it, a lot of different things that you can do to change it up. I like to throw wacky rigs, I like to throw Texas rigs, I like to throw bladed rigs, but changing it up and being different sometimes can mean the difference between a lot of bites and bigger bass or no bites at all. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today on the channel. Let us know in the comments what you want us to do, what lures you want us to focus on, what underwater videos we can bring you. We'll see you out there, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you out there.